Alright, welcome everybody. Again, my 65, what's been new since the last time I posted up a video. Pretty much same stuff. Exterior wise, you really can't notice what I've done, but underneath I did a lot of changes actually. I rewired the whole car using an American Auto Wire setup. So front to back, brand new wiring all in. And what I did was I actually upgraded or backgraded my gauges. You can see the wires back there. I got to tuck them in, but I went back to, I got some period correct Stuart Warner gauges. So these are actual new style gauge, or new gauges that were from, I think, the 70s. I think is what, early 70s is when they were built. So I put those in there because I had some Chinese knockoffs. You can still see I got a Chinese tack here. I got to figure out what I'm going to do with that. But anyways, at any rate, got this Stuart Warner there. Over here, one of the big things I did was install a Fitech, and I kind of wanted to hide the gauge because I thought it kind of looks weird. I see a lot of guys with their Fitech gauges out there, and they're sitting around, dangling off the dash, and I kind of don't like that. It's too modern for me. But I figured I'd put a magnetic cell phone mount there, and that way I can kind of like hide it and put it away, and when I need it, it sits there. It's kind of pointed, angled at me. Beyond that, let's take a walk around the back and take a look. Actually, let's take a look. Let me grab the keys and I'll show you guys what I did in the trunk, because one of the things I did was to kind of again move the battery into the trunk. This is actually a different battery than what I had originally, but I got a good deal on this Odyssey battery mounted in the trunk over on the back side. A lot of the battery kits that I've seen out there are very large. They take up, these fastback, trunks are tiny, and I really did not want to have a gigantic ass battery back here that takes up half my damn space and makes it incredibly difficult for me to get to it. So I got a deal on this Odyssey battery along with this custom, dimple dyed battery holder, and then I added this little cutoff. More than anything else, for me, that's kind of an anti-theft. I can turn that off, take that key with me, and it disconnects the ground from the car. So unless you bring your own battery, you're not really going anywhere unless you push the car away. So underneath here, and I don't know, it's kind of going to be a little bit tough to see, but I have a Tanks Inc. Set up there for a 65 Mustang. So what that does for me is it moves the electric fuel pump underneath the tank, or excuse me, into the tank. That way I don't have to deal with any of the weird stuff that goes on with trying to put a fuel pump on the outside of the car. Beyond that, let's go to the front here, and here's our engine again. Looks pretty much the same from last time. I did added the Fitech system there. You can see it, along with the extra wiring for Fitech. I kind of hid it back here, which includes a bunch of their fuses and stuff like that, their controllers, connectors, stuff like that. And then Fitech's their temperature sensor I put there. You can see it's kind of a little bit Mickey Mouse with my copper fittings, but I had to find a place to put it where it could get access to the coolant before it hits the water neck there. Beyond that, just kind of rerouted some stuff around. Added dual if I can figure out my words, dual belts there, because I was getting some squealing off of the alternator. I got a high output alternator there. And then I also kind of, while I was here, as you guys can see, I kind of updated the export brace here. Had a friend of mine, he built this for me, and we ended up doing that because the Fitech, the unit here for the return line actually hits the export brace of stock when I try to notch it a couple times, but it's starting to look kind of hinky. So went ahead and had these plates made, and then we did that. So put that on there. It's a little bit more high tech than I like, but what are you going to do? I also added a stainless steel brakes. They sell this master cylinder that's kind of that's kind of a little bit lighter. It's made out of aluminum. It's about half the weight of the cast iron unit. I did that because I got a pretty kick-ass deal on these 1969 style Trans Am, I guess Boss 302 style brakes. So it's a 12-inch rotor by 1 1/4 inches thick. It's huge.
And it comes with these Ford full size. I think it's like from a Galaxy or a Continental, something like that. They're massive calipers, massive rotors, and I got these from Street or Track. I got a fantastic deal on these things, and I put it on there. Try to do a little bit of autocrossing on it and stuff like that. So I thought, you know what, might as well upgrade the brakes while we're at it. Again, keeping in the theme of the fact that you know, this is my version of a 1965 Ford Mustang EcoBoost. You know, if it existed at the time, right? So you get a good suspension, you know, but with the base motor a little bit hotted up. So let's go ahead and see if we can get this thing started up. Let me grab the keys again, and you guys can get the quick feel for it. So what you'll hear momentarily here is that's the fuel pump priming. Just like, I guess a modern car does that, I suppose. So let's go ahead and start it. I'm not putting any fuel into it at this point. So we'll hit the starter. So there's that. There's our Fitech unit is up. So let's get our dashboard there going. You can kind of see some information about it. Tack there is kind of like reading a little bit. We got our temperatures down there. Everything's going good. So let's take a look at the car itself. It idles a lot better than it did with the carburetor before. Seems like it's a little bit smoother. Another thing I did is I changed the muffler on it because the muffler was a little bit before, it was a little bit too raspy, and it was definitely it was painful to walk around or to use, I suppose. So now we've got a little bit of a different exhaust, a little bit more verbally. I think it still sounds like a small block to me, which freaks out a lot of people or takes them out.